her spots.
Spots.
Elodea wants to use a rehost, which is actually a joke there. Almost gave me a heart attack. But pinging their spawn doesn't look too favourable, but then again, as Roncat just displayed, it's designed that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, Metal Planets, it's slightly different because of also the pathing, so you've got to negotiate all of these sort of thin bridges across these trenches, and those are really good choke points for ground units if you get up some really good defences along those lines, and it really makes it quite difficult. But then again, you can always use air to go around and circumvent that as well, so...
Yes. So it's, you know, one thing you can do is like you can just place a tower here and then put a couple walls in front of it, and actually can hold down quite a lot because the choke point causes the unit to kind of flow through one by one and really hold it down pretty well. And there we go. All the players spawning in. And very interesting, we've got two purple players kind of on the same longitude on one side of the planet, and then they're between a couple of the orange players. And meanwhile, the third purple player is sort of surrounded by the other orange players. However, when you take into account the travel time of kind of zigzagging back and forth between some of those spaces, may not be so close together.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a bit more of an issue with regards to that. So we may even see lots more teleporters being used, not only to move units closer to the enemy, but also between bases as support, because those bases are really far apart.
Yep, and some skitters out. The southern orange player has got some skitters out. And the southern purple player's got some fighters going on.
And the middle orange there's got some them there fireflies sort of queued up.
Them there.
Them there.
Them there.
He's got
here comes another fighter. He's gonna fight them fireflies and
not
bam.
Quite. Yes, mutual annihilation. So that was really good. Orange scouting the north purple player there and the southern one. Well, there's two southern ones, but the sort of relative southwest. Air First Elodea is saying, of course, they still seem to be broken with the team chat. Though,
yeah, not sure what's on there.
Purple now also scouting the orange base to the northeast relative. And queued up 3 vehicle factories there, fixing to build those post-air factory in the sort of southeast. He has got an air fabber there that's idle though, so perhaps he doesn't want it to get snapped. Building out a bumblebee there as well to probably go around and do some worker harass. Though I don't see too many ground fabricators. There's only a vehicle fabricator on the same team, only starting to come out now from the orange players.
Yep. And a very aggressive start on the bottom there with the air fabricator just going right up the middle of the planet to scope out some of that metal extraction point.
Yeah, there's a lot queued there actually. He's queued the ones to the west and the north of that as well. So, I mean, with the sparse metal that this planet has, it's crucial that the players get to those and set up shop as soon as possible with regards to factories. And in fact, they just managed to, Purple managed to snipe an orange fabricator up in the northeast there with a bumblebee. In fact, they've sort of sat a hummingbird on the floor over there, which is going to get a little bit of intel, not too much, but still, it's there.
So, my daughter just walked. She's heading out, and she stopped and she was like, "See you later, Pa." Okay, so what do we think of these spawn points? I actually think they're okay. Like, I don't think anybody's got a huge advantage. Some guys have their commanders connected, some do not. I do think air was a very legitimate direction to go here. You just kind of avoid all the traversing that you might get. That's quite a fleet of air over there that's gone
It is
over
a
that
sizable
orange base.
force. And with all that AA escort, they're going to do a really good job of hampering the expansion there. They just need to actually kill off that Faber, which did not micro out of the way. So that expansion is down. All of those hummingbirds can go in first to this orange base, though they do need to watch out for the odd spinner on the floor, because they can sort of injure down. But of course, with all the hummingbirds there, they can sort of take the hits for the bumblebees as they come in. Just getting a little bit of scouting just to make sure what's going on there as well. Orange trying to respond, but the hummingbirds just decimated. Whoa, the bumblebees just got away, actually. I thought they were on a crash course, but then again they exploded midair. So
yeah, the spinners are pretty good, and it's a good response to these guys because with such a sizable air force, it's hard to fight with your own air force. But the spinners, like they can take out a lot of guys before, and obviously there's a lot of fighters in that group.
Yeah. And in fact, lots of vehicle factories beginning to come out for pretty much all players now. I'm just looking at the Eco tab, and Orange is pulling away with metal, and they're using it quite well. Neither team are actually floating, although Orange is floating power, and Purple is actually ahead on power slightly. But both teams have got equal number of factories, so you know, there's not enough between it to really call in either direction at this point.
Yeah, I do feel like there's an opportunity here for somebody to just, if they've got enough economy. Oh, a big raid going down on the south side of the planet by that purple Air Force. I didn't see quite exactly what he got. Air OP. Posidian always declares things OP. Actually, a huge set of tanks raiding over here by purple on the southern hemisphere as well.
Yeah, just taking out 8 mechs. Really big advantage for them early game. It's just knocked them down.
But really just a big evener because they're very close on economy anyway. But this train of Aventails are coming in here and starting to get some damage down on the base of this isolated orange player.
That commander doesn't want to use his Uber Cannon too much on the other group, but just getting the hit off right in the middle of that group there. Good splash damage on all of those tanks. Having to be forced to run away there. Although damage still being done to the other factories, and the commander's going to have to respond to this because there isn't really anything to defend against it. This is where sort of orange air units would really come in handy, except there are only hummingbirds rather than bumblebees, which is really what they need at this point. Although, you know, they could also pop up a couple of teleporters because neither team are really struggling for power. But down in the middle of the planet now, large group from purple just trying to make headway across one of these trenches. Going to really put pressure on orange here.
Yeah, he's got several Infernos in that group, as well as some anti-air and the range. It's a really nice mix. He's working on a tower here. I feel like tower should have been a lot closer to the path through, but those Infernos are working hard on the factories there and doing pretty well.
In fact, that's Custard's commander there. He always chooses that one. I recognise that a mile off. So Custard's having his base torn through at this point, and fleet of air units coming in to defend against the orange defence coming across the nearby trench there. So purple definitely have a real handle on orange at this point in the game.
Yeah, they do feel like they're really pushing hard and has been moving away economy-wise as well. Custard's commander under a lot of fire from those Infernos, actually down to 40% health. And the bombers come in to try to finish him off. A lot of damage raining down. Actually is able to survive quite a bit of it. But
there are a few spinners there, but not really enough. The commander, there we go. Just about sorting out lots of explosions. I can't see anything that's going on.
I couldn't either, so many explosions. The commander comes out. He's still got just a little bit of health, maybe 15%. And they have managed to clean that up and defended him. So that looks okay. They've got their own tanks and another stream coming in, so I feel like they're in a little bit better spot, but that was a very close call. Now, I feel like he should just go ahead and lay down some anti-air towers around his commander, and then to avoid the bomber snipe, and then maybe even get some regular towers out.
Yeah, it'd definitely be an idea for him at this point. However, orange now pushing over towards purple on the northern hemisphere above. Well, I say hemisphere, that sort of section, you've sort of got these thirds, really, haven't you? The northern, the equator, and the southern. But Back over to the other orange base on the southern as well. Purple's still harassing that one relentlessly with those tanks going in. Orange's base to the northeast, relatively untouched, though there is that small group just moving in on the expansion to the east of their little of their base there, which could probably take out those 3 mechs without too much hassle.
Yeah, fighting on many fronts. The orange team on the northern portion of the planet has started to pull back a little bit, but now I think they've got a bit of a surround, so they may be able to actually do quite a bit of damage here as they come in from the side as well. They didn't want to have those Infernos just get in and get kited, but now that they're able to close in, they turn around and wipe out quite a bit of that army, and I think that was an efficient way to go. And Custard actually still very low on health in his commander in his base, but still hanging on.
What's he
working his way down. I think he fired an Uber cannon and it left it still in a shooting state, so he's got a fire and hit the ground command going on.
And he's bugging out, not building that P-gen where he wants it to. There we go, it's even cancelled itself. There has been an attack command on that comm though, probably because the radar blips from Purple know they don't see it. So how that attack command could be issued is somewhat of a mystery, but I think this base is probably going to get cleaned up by this sort of combined assault. There's not...
You actually can order an attack command on a radar blip.
Well, yeah, but there was no radar blip, is my point.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Let's just take a look from the Purple perspective. They're pinging the commander as he runs away. They don't actually have sight on him anymore. So I think he's in too much trouble to actually get away, but maybe he can run back to that other base.
Yeah, I mean he is only against T1 units, so uber cannoning them won't be too difficult.
But we can see that Purple has taken quite a considerable lead, 173-ish battle per second ahead. A orange push at the top side of the planet. I don't think this is going to be super effective because there are so many Purple units to respond.
Yeah, I mean because it is against the home turf there isn't a continuous stream of orange units. This is a sort of a one-hit wonder sort of attack, and it is going to get repelled. They're all sort of...
Southern base also in trouble, but also the commander here kind of burnt custard fortifying up, puts up a row of walls. You really ought to just send at least like one fabricator to try to hit him. Units pathing through the trench. Yeah, there was some work done on the trenches to make them path better recently, and I think it was in this build. It was some time ago, but that's not so surprising. And there's a commander. I think that was the southern commander.
Yep, it was. Indeed. They do have a lot of bomb bots there, interestingly. I'm not sure what they're
yeah, I'm not sure what the plan was there. I'm just going to go ahead and go back using the chrono cam here about 30 seconds. See what happened.
Looks like it was just a genuine generic surround there.
Yep.
And sort of whittled down. No uber cannons used.
I heard another explosion though. Is there another commander dead? Yeah, Burnt Custard's commander is now dead as well.
Yep.
So they are now 2 commanders behind. And
Orange going for orbital now, probably a last-ditch effort. Has it been scouted by Purple? No, it has not.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is there. It takes a long time to get to kind of a Sizzix super weapon. And they just did scout it, but they've got so much now that they're just coming in right now. They ping the commander. They know where it is,
there's
and
too many
the
bombers
GG gets
there.
called. Yeah.
Yep. That commander will probably detonate reasonably shortly. So Max just manages to survive elimination potentially. It'll depend on how the other teams, the other players with lower scores do. But it does mean he does have a win to his name, which means elimination is somewhat less likely. But
yep.
We'll have to see.
Well, that so now we've established that vehicles and air are OP.
Are bots OP too?
They might be. Those bomb bots.
Or are they UP? Ooh.
Oh.
But
would be pretty funny if they finish in Astraeus and just go up into the space. Yep, we're hanging out.
Drop a commander on their other commander.
It seems like it would be taken from the book of Brad.
Coffee break in space.
Yep. Big army moving in here for
it's a fabricator, not
orange
the
team, but not a big enough army.
Couple of pathing issues from purple there, trying to get past that little gap.
Yeah, that's interesting. There they go. I'm looking forward to an updated pathing system that we've been working on. That out. Still doing a lot of testing out though.
I really think if you call GG, then there should be a sort of auto kill button for calling GG.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Well, rather than a button, you know, just saying GG would.
That's like a shortcut for deleting your commander.
Yeah. Or if there's like a command in like the escape menu or something to like call GG or something, and it would
surrender.
Yeah.
Well, they got their orbital fabricator out. Now what?
There be a plan a hatching somewhere.
Now they're working on the Astraeus. Oh,
nope.
The orbital fabricator is going to build
an anchor.
Anchor, and then he's going to bring up the Astraeus, and he's going to surround the Astraeus with the commander with anchors and troll out the game.
I don't think we need to spec it for that long, to be honest. Although, you never know. Orange may be able to sit there with their commander in orbit while pulling back. We'll just have to see how it goes. But at this point, purple has the rest of the planet. Orange have one base. And purple is converging on it from all sides with reasonably sizable forces. So, regardless as to whether the commander is in orbit, I think there won't be much he can do.
Yeah, he just has to build. They just build their own orbital and then bring in some fighters, and they will be able to snipe that fairly easily.
Yeah, they've just seen the orbital launcher. As to whether they are building their own is another matter entirely. Did they just ping it?
I think they're just saying kill the base. And just looking around the planet, I mean, they've got to know that they've got everything. So pretty soon they'll figure out. Yeah, kill the base. We don't need orbital yet. No big deal. He doesn't have any money. It'll be really hard to build anything. There it is.
Go straight to jail. Do not collect 200. And
yeah, good job and good game. I think they wanted to show that they could stall the game, but didn't actually want to stall the game.
As is the gentlemanly way out.